Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live. There's also a PayPal and crypto link in the info box below the video. Most importantly though, if you would like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the shape of the Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel. So please share the show on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now we are joined by Arwin, Chocolate Saying, Daniel, Jose, Ranty, Scott and Sleeping Warrior. Good to have you all.
Good afternoon.
Good to be here.
Hello.
Hello.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So do we need to continue with the conspiracy cats and or soundly debunking from the last show? Or is that, do you think we've just smashed that into the middle of next week and it can now be moved on from?
I think it's worth repeating that Conspiracy Cats has completely got his rebuttal wrong. His claim was that this is impossible. It's a bit like Miles Davis, and this is impossible on a flat plane. No, you're just doing the wrong maths. If you do the correct maths and take into account perspective and then drop the thing that you're looking at into the curve, you'll quickly realize that it's not actually a flat earth killer. It proves that we live on a flat plane, because if it was really curving, Mount Rainier shouldn't be seen at all, because it's small and dropped into the curve, and there's quite a lot of curve. There's like 3,000 meters worth of curvature over such a big distance. So let's put it out there. There's Conspiracy Cats doesn't know what he's talking about. He claims to be a physics teacher at high school level. He may well be. You can't do physics though. So make sure you go over to my channel. This video is just uploaded now because I've only just finished it. Conspiracy Cats can't physics. So make sure you bully the guy when you see him, because he needs to know about it. He needs to know that he's been debunked, literally shown that he's wrong. And I want to know, Conspiracy Cats, what are you going to do about it? Because you need to at least do a correction video, fix your maths, and then show us how it's impossible on a flat plane, because I'm calling you out. This is not possible on a ball. Mount Rainier should not be seen if you take into account perspective and then drop it into the curve the way we've asserted for months.
Very concise, well done. And then we've got Ranty. I'll stick you up. I can see you prepping something, Ranty.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, well, it's basically just because I hadn't even realised I got this video again. It's like I've got the measurements now for this tripod. This tripod broke. It's one of many that I keep breaking. I think this is my fourth one that I'm on now. So I've got the tape measure in the back, and I have it sat on a step. And obviously, I've lowered my camera height to look directly at the top of the tripod. So where the actual tripod sits is level with the step behind it. And what I'll do is I'll do two measurements in a second. I'll come up and I'll measure the height of the tripod, and I'll show it. There we go. So let me get it correct. So it's about, what, 1 foot 13 inches, 13.5 inches. And then when I do the step as well, I'll put the tape measure on the step, and I'll show you that. That's at 7 inches. There we go. That's me doing my measurements. So I know that the step's at 7 inches, and the tripod is essentially at around about 13 inches, I would say, judging by this this video. So it's just the reference from the last video that I showed at the start of the last show.
Can you summarise what that was, though? Just because it's a debunking for Soundly, and then hopefully Jose will chime in as well.
Yeah, well, it was basically a video doing an elevation drop on the boat that was only 1.4 miles away, and there should be no problem with any earth curve between any of the observations, but we get a massive inferior mirage, and what we can definitely see Rayleigh's criterion happening with the with the narrow viewing angle, you can actually see it, and it's demonstrated very well actually in
Just bring it up
the video.
so we can see it right now. I know you've got it on the tab already, so you might as well just stick it up.
26th of June, so it'll be the S drive. 25th of June, be this video here. So this is me from an elevated position, and I'm going to zoom in onto this boat. And now we're seeing the boat in its entirety. No problems with seeing it. We've got these tires on the boat running down, incrementally getting to the water, touching the water at the front of the, well, towards the front of the boat. At the back of the boat, we're definitely seeing all this brown part of the hull. This boat is only 1.4 miles away. And then I run down the steps and I get down, set my camera tripod up. I'll show you my camera tripod actually first. There it is. I've just measured it. You know, those steps are 7 inches high. The height of the camera, sorry, tripod is 13 inches. Camera sits on top of that. So I'm at least a foot above sea level. And then we'll zoom in on the boat and we get this massive inferior mirage and the Rayleigh's criterion happening on this image here. And it's definitely not through Earth curve, because we are, the horizon on the ball Earth would be past the boat. So we should have just a direct line of sight to this. We should see that brown part of the hull at the back of the boat here. We don't see it. Why don't we see it? Well, we have this stretching and inferior mirage that's happening in front of our eyes. And that's the blockage. And it's not Earth curve. And we talk about this at length at the start of the last show.
Well, you can see the mirroring effect there on the
Welcome,
tire.
Tim Osmond, to the panel.
Hello, Tim. How you doing?
Howdy. Very well.
Hey, you saw the comment I left for you? The start of your hangout yesterday?
No, I get many comments that I don't read because I don't care about people commenting most times.
You see right there, when you zoomed in, you see right there the tires?
Yeah.
See how the tires are mirrored, right?
Yeah. They're also being, they're mirrored at the back because they're higher up. And then as they go further down and further down, then they start to get stretched and warped and then stretched again. They look like number 8 here. And then at the very end, they disappear into nothing. You can't make any of them out here. They're just.
I have a conspiracy. This guy here with the hat on, his little picture, I think that's Cathexis, actually. I'm going to go ahead and say that. I heard him talking to Don and get smoked by Don yesterday. That's Cathexis. How you doing, Cathexis? Welcome to the show, Cathexis.
Listen, my name is Scott Yates. I have a Facebook page that I've had for like 9 years. I live in Thailand, and you're wrong.
Hey, what about Eric Dubay? Is he there too?
Prove it. You making a claim about me? Prove it.
Dude, I'm playing, man.
Well done, lad.
Seriously, you sound a bit like a
Like a motherfucker.
Dub that, man, for sure. Anyway, you do sound like Cathexis people who
blew your nose with the cocaine.
Yeah, I sound like a lot of people. There's millions.
It's quite all right.
You don't think I sound like somebody else?
No, Cathexis is a very unique voice, and you're very close to that. But anyway, you got smoked by Don yesterday, dude. You should lay off the alcohol when you talk to people that have logic and reason. I'm just saying. Yeah.
No, to me, people like that are what I call non-player characters. And I have, no interest in engaging with people like that.
Well, I'm just telling you from the outside perspective, you made yourself look like an ass. So, anywho.
Why? Because I wouldn't answer his inane questions about why is it not dark or everywhere? Why is it not bright?
It's not an inane question to ask a flat earther how the sun sets, because with geometry,
no, at this point, and I've been patient. I've been patient sitting here listening to you guys go on about your proofs. Can we get to what's really important about the flat Earth movement and stop talking about curvature and
people,
over the horizon?
Proselytizing the people, or what is it really important to you in the flat Earth? What is important?
The nature of reality, and who dictates that reality.
What if the dictation of reality is actually what objective reality is?
What?
What
You
if
didn't
things
understand
that don't make sense to you? You know?
I'm just saying,
No.
as far as what I've been talking about for 4 years, the 2 celestial points, the equatorial star trails, and you didn't even understand that there's a southern
Yeah, we
celestial
do.
point.
We do, and
You
we
don't
understand
understand
it's
that
all
it
based
is.
on
Oh, okay,
presupposition.
Hold on.
No, it's
Well,
not.
they-
Actually, it's
it is.
observations. It's observations.
Yeah,
dude.
observations and
I'm
then
not talking about
conclusions
art.
drawn based on
Yeah,
presuppositions.
logical deductions. Like when you talk about your
No,
logical
presupposition.
deductions. No, you have
Yes.
presuppositions.
You
We all have
presuppose it's
presuppositions.
physical. You
We
presuppose
all
the ball
do.
is a ball.
We all
underneath
have
it.
circular reasoning too. Okay,
we?
we all
Once
commit
again,
that.
That's
once
projection.
again,
That's straight
You
out
guys are,
projection.
every one of you are missing the point of why we should be here. All
All right,
right.
tell us, Texas. Go ahead, buddy.
It's not about the shape of the earth. It's about who is controlling what we think we know about reality. That's what it's about.
Well, I kind of like that. I mean, I understand where the conspiracy crowd comes from, in that there are a lot of things that are being told to us that aren't the way that they seem. But when you have the presupposition, when you beg the question that the Earth is flat, then you're on the wrong track. All right, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but that's why we're
are
not
you?
doing
This is
that.
what you're saying, man.
Hold on a second. Who are you with the vagina
Tim Osmond.
icon on my screen?
Timmy
This,
Osmond.
this,
Nice to
this
meet you.
like it looks like some kind of abortion on my screen. Who are you?
It's a splattered clown. Him.
It's a jester, dude. I'm a jester. I'm here
Yeah.
as a jester.
Yeah,
for
that's
the-
how you look
Okay,
like.
so who are you?
The building.
Jester, who are you?
My name is Tim Osmond. Please do not dox me, bro.
I don't even know what that means. I'm a Luddite. All right, and so what's your stance? What's your claim to fame?
My stance is that flat Earth is nonsense, and I've been trying to tell people that for 4 years.
And
people like Nathan,
so why don't you come on here and show a picture of yourself?
what does
and-
that have to
and
do with
you-
anything?
Because I don't know who I'm talking to here. How do I know you're not a freaking robot?
How do I know you're not cathexis?
I seen him
Does he have a
cooking.
picture? Does he have a picture of somebody else and not cathexis? Because I made Kath Hitler. I don't know.
Yeah, nice straw man there.
I seen Timmy Osman
It's not a
cooking,
straw
so
man.
he's
He just
a
showed
real
himself.
deal.
Yeah, you're
He just showed
deflecting.
himself.
You're
That's it.
deflecting off the fact that you aren't showing yourself.
No, he
Yo,
just showed
hey
himself.
man.
That's not cathexis.
Whoa, I got scared for a second.
Right, nobody give him a hard time. Every one of us
Who's
on this panel
this
is
person? Who's this person you're
tarred a
saying I
claim.
am?
So every one of us on
Does
this
he have-
panel at
does he
some
have-
stage
does he have
has made that.
guns?
So everyone's made that
Does he
claim
have
at some
this?
stage that somebody is somebody else. So let's not give too hard
It's a
a time.
conspiracy.
Show your face. Let's see your face.
What the fuck is that gonna do, dude?
And you've been challenged.
It's gonna
because
reveal who you are.
you're
It's gonna
accusing
tie
me, and
down
I
the
have a
face.
right. I have a right to see my accuser.
Well, there is a video of me. Nathan can probably have you go to that if you
No,
want.
just right now. You have a camera.
No, I'd actually have to get on my phone.
Who's this?
I'm on a computer.
Jose, you
I'm on
look
my-
very cold, man.
Jose, thank you.
You can
Yeah,
internet on
I'm all
your
over the
phone,
place,
you
man.
don't have a camera. That's
My name Jose Gonzalez. I got my face all over the place, so I'm me. I'm a playable character, brother.
Yeah. No,
I
I
think
just
it's-
I don't
I
have
think
I
it's
don't have
neither here nor
patience
there.
for these people anymore. This if you're an opponent to the flat Earth movement, then you've got to have some type of reason to believe what you believe, because it is a belief system. I haven't chosen to believe in the flat Earth, you know.
Neither have I.
Yeah, you have. You both
Nobody
have.
has.
Yeah, absolutely.
No,
Absolutely.
No, it's not a
Just
choice.
figure it
It's not
out.
just,
Yeah, it's a
I
choice.
grew up on the Space Coast, man. I was a NASA fanboy for most of my life.
That doesn't mean anything to me. What you said just yesterday, you don't have any understanding of this subject.
No, I don't care. I don't care to
I know you don't
engage because it's
You're
nonsense.
engaging with me right now. You're engaging with
No,
me right
with-
now.
with-
So don't
with-
ask me
with
to ask,
this,
you don't ask me to show my fucking face. I'm not going to. Excuse me, Nathan. But I'm
You're
not
a
going to.
coward. You're cut because you're a coward.
And that's fine. But I also have been here for 4 years with words that actually you can verify yourself. So take it as you will. You know, Eric Dubay shows himself, but he lies to you continuously. So I don't really care that people show them their faces. I actually judge the.
Does he have a daily show?
Of their
Yeah,
character.
well, sorry, you don't deserve any respect from me.
All right. Well, you're kind of a
Don't know
newbie.
you.
I know I've talked to these guys for like a year plus, 2 years. So like, just sit in the background while we talk. Okay. Let the big boys
Yeah.
talk.
Excuse me? You're not a big
Yeah,
boy.
Timmy's in the house, buddy.
You're not a big boy. You're a soy boy. That was
A
my
soy
comment I
boy.
left on your channel.
What does that mean?
And you're obsessed with dildos and being gay.
What?
Very obviously. You constantly talk about it in
Arwin.
every single hangout.
Arwin and
Dildos?
Timmy, can I have 1 minute, please? Can I have 1 minute,
Being
please?
gay? I don't know what he's talking about, but go ahead, Jose.
Yeah, let me get a minute because I was about to get this out. It was my turn. This is not a personal attack, but soundly I'm calling you out again. You say we must ignore the mirroring effects and the inferior mirages, and it is all about it. I would like to see a explanation from your part, explaining, talking about the Riley's criteria, the Aries diffraction, and the angles of the stuff that we're seeing in the distance when stuff appear to disappear over the horizon. Even yourself, Timmy, you probably have looked into this, but I haven't seen an explanation on what are we missing the stuff from the bottom up, and every obstruction is not curvature, and you know it because we see this
obstruction
all the
over
time.
obstruction over water when you have a clear day, Jose, can happen. Okay, so it's not always miraging. I just did a video about this with my videos of when there is miraging at the Salt Lake, and so, some of my videos and pictures where it's not miraging. Okay, but each time I still can't see the bottom of the buildings. I still can't see the land that leads up to those buildings.
Yeah, but
This has been modeled by Walter Bislin.
Tim,
And he's also modeled it for the flat Earth, and guess what? Flat Earth doesn't work.
Is reality a model?
hang on, Tim. Why won't you let us have copies of your original photo?
Reality is not a model. Reality isn't a model, but reality can be modeled. Ranty.
You can model atmosphere.
Only if you have all the required information.
You could.
Right?
You could model
and
atmosphere.
that does
It's
not
much tougher.
include presuppositions.
Reality cannot be modeled all the time. You cannot model a human
just
brain.
Like Nathan doesn't. Okay,
One at a
stop with the
time.
presupposition talk. All right, we all have them. We all have axioms. We all have starting
Like
points.
what?
It's quite okay.
Like what?
You have starting points, my friend. It's called Alex Jones' show. All right.
What does that have to do with cosmology? What does that have to do with our supposed model or with our very
You don't have a model.
logical,
You don't have one.
direct line of sight
we have the model.
conclusions that the Earth is flat?
Nah, there's no direct line of sight. Look at Salt Lake City observations. Why can't you see the bottom of the buildings, Arwin?
Why can't
Is
you
the
see the
Aries
top of
diffraction
them?
this week?
Why aren't the
The
entire
perspective
thing
this
behind the
week?
curve?
What is it? What is it this week? I'm
Why
just
isn't
wondering.
the entire thing behind the curve, Timmy?
Because actually, it doesn't need to be. It's 26 miles away. It actually matches the globe exactly.
That's called
well.
a
What do you gotta
reification
think
How about the
fallacy.
things beyond that?
Hold on, that's called a reification fallacy,
Seeing
Tim.
them.
Yeah, we can reify anything in life.
Yeah,
It's
you
not a
can if you're an
reification fallacy,
idiot.
though.
You can if you're a fallacious reasoner. If you want to argue fallaciously and use fallacious logic, you can do any of those things, Tim. But it would still be a fallacy.
I don't agree with your whole stance
I don't
on
give a
every
shit.
fallacy means that
Like I
what
care
you're
what
saying
you
is
think.
wrong.
You're a nobody. Nobody cares what you think. It's a fact. I couldn't give a crap what you
Well, that's
think.
why I'm here, and actually, there's a lot of people that do care that I think, and they watch my videos. So
Oh,
that's
really?
wrong.
That's fascinating.
What do you think about this Aries diffraction picture I have up here? Obviously, there seems to be some curvature here on the Earth, or some kind of geometry, as opposed to some flat plane that you guys are trying to propose to thousands of people. Just wondering what you guys think of these observations,
Sure.
because there's
Do you
not
wanna-
a bunch of refraction happening.
Show me what's curving.
The water seems.
Do you want to show me that?
There's a
I don't
horizon.
see.
How
I
about
don't see
everything in
anything
the back?
curving. Hold on, Arwin. What's curving? Show me the curve. What's the curve that you assert?
Looking over water, and
So-
for some reason, 100 feet that goes up from the water to the building base is gone, and half the building is gone.
Sorry,
So
you
what am
just
I
did-
supposed
sorry,
to
you just
logically
described
deduce
a-
from these
You
images?
just described an obstruction. Maybe you didn't hear my question.
Mhm.
Did you hear my question, or did you just not understand it? Because I asked you to show me something curving, and you've detailed an obstruction. So did you not understand?
Yeah, I can pull up sound these images. There's a better curve in that if you
Sure,
want to see.
go ahead. I thought you wanted to use these,
Nah.
but you don't. So rather than answering my question about your image and the curvature you assert about it, you want to go somewhere else. So that was a very quick. Let's just take you off screen. So this is useless then. No curve in this picture then, Tim. You'd rather go to Soundly.
Actually, it's showing the geometry of the Earth. Yes.
Sorry, showing the geometry. No. We don't.
I see it because it's.
We don't see things in a side view. You're not showing the geometry. We haven't got the side of our own head in this picture.
Tell you what, I do
Are
see
you stupid?
Are
you stupid?
An inferior mirage on
Hold
the
on,
25
Ranty.
foot
Hold on.
station, and I see-
Hold on.
see any on the others.
Ranty. You said
What's going
we're
on
seeing
there?
the geometry. No, the geometry is displayed in a side elevation with the side of the person taking the picture's head. So, no, we're not seeing the geometry in this, Tim. Are you stupid to assert such nonsense?
No, I'm just got a dildo here, I guess, because I always talk about him or whatever. Hey, no, yes, it actually does show the geometry of the Earth because we're looking.
I'll say it again because he's a retard and he's deaf. No, the geometry of the Earth is displayed in side elevation, which admits perspective. Not that Tim's going to pay any attention to that whatsoever because he doesn't like to listen. He seems to assert that curvature is actually obstruction, which is benign and stupid. But there we go. No, Tim, it's not showing the geometry. The geometry would be shown in a side elevation. Do you want me to say it a third time? Or are you going to hand wave dismiss it?
Yeah, I brushed my teeth at the moment. Go ahead, please do.
Yeah, it doesn't show the geometry. The geometry is shown in a side profile and excludes perspective. Gives the absolute sizes of things that you see in this picture in relative sizes, Tim. So, no, I'll say it the third time. See how slow Tim is. A bit like Dawn Treader, just slow. It doesn't show the geometry, Tim. You're wrong. You're wrong. Or stupid. Doesn't matter which. Do I need to say it a fourth time?
So how does this equate into a flat Earth?
Do I need to say it a fourth time? Are you being that glowbed asshole that doesn't concede anything, Tim? It seems so. Do I need to say it a fourth time?
Please say how this works on a flat Earth.
Sorry, you're ignoring my point. Not conceding that you're wrong, which you are, Tim. Stupid and wrong.
Tell me how it works on
and
a flat
slow.
Earth.
Because I'm trying desperately to explain it to you, but you're just slow. It's taking a long time for you to comprehend this.
It's not there.
I get it, Tim. It's taking you a long time. I don't mind taking my time with retards. That would be you, Tim. So I'll say it again. Let's see if you can listen like Dawn. You talk when you should listen. This will be the fourth time I've explained this to a dumbass. Let's see if he can listen. Or if he's just like Dawn and doesn't want to be educated.
How does it work on a flat Earth?
Yeah, you're asking a new question while I point out your error for the fourth time, Tim.
Like 7 times.
So you're going to let me point out your error for the fourth time, or would you rather remain in ignorance? How does this work on a flat Earth? Yeah, I'll say it for a fourth time.
Hey, Tim, does your mom snort Molly?
Yeah, let's say it for a fourth time. Let's not be obfuscated. This does not show the geometry of the Earth. The reason is simple. The geometry of the Earth is represented in a side view, non-perspective, with the side of the viewer's head in the mathematical equation.
What? What are you talking about? How does this work on a flat Earth?
Oh, Tim, you're ignoring me then.
How does this work on a flat Earth?
Sorry, why are my own panel members obfuscating my point? Tim, I've explained it 4 times and you seem to be moving past my point. Can other panel members not obfuscate my point?
How does this work on a flat Earth?
I want a concession from you, Tim. This does not show the geometry.
How does this work on a flat Earth?
You're just going to get kicked out if you ignore me for the 5th time. I'll point it out for a 5th time. If you ignore me, I'll kick you out for being an obfuscating twat. Let's point it out one more time. This does not show the geometry of your sphere religion world. That would be a side elevation that ignores perspective and, with the mathematics, would have the observer and the target in the same frame. So, Tim, that's the 5th time I've explained it to you.
What a straw man you've just built for this whole thing, dude. I'm looking over water, man. It's as plain and evident for anybody to see. I'm asking you how this works on a flat Earth, and you have to say what you just did.
No, you asserted that it demonstrated the geometry of the Earth, and now I'm going to say it for the 6th time, that it does not. That the geometry of the Earth is a misrepresentation because it excludes perspective and gives you a side elevation that would incorporate the side of your own head and the targets in their absolute sizes.
Christ, what a fucking straw man this is.
Oh, time to get rid of Timmy who can't help but get beaten. That's what's happening here, Tim.
Okay,
you're being beaten and you don't like it. So you want to obfuscate and ask a new question, but I don't mind kicking you out while you obfuscate and Arwin helps you for the 7th time.
He ran away, Nathan.
No, I kicked him out.
Yeah, he left. Right.
Hey, is that Ronnie? Hello, Ronnie. No.
Oh, sniper.
So I don't mind pointing it out 7 times because Tim's slow. We all know he's slow. He still thinks that antipodal star rotation proves a spherical Earth, even though I've pointed out to him 3 times. This will be the 4th time that he has to presuppose that stars are under his own arse. In other words, he has to beg the question and assume the Earth's a sphere, tell people that they're travelling to the bottom of the sphere to look at these stars. No, Tim, you're just slow. It's taking a very long time to get this stuff through to you. You want to ask a new question after making an assertion that it shows geometry. It doesn't, Tim. That's where we're trying desperately to educate you, but you're like Dawn. Very slow. Very difficult to communicate with. You don't like to concede. It doesn't matter how many times we try to educate you. You're thick. That's what being thick means. So if you want to see a demonstration of somebody being thick, that would be Tim Osman not listening, talking continually, or Dawn not listening, talking continually, while we absolutely take a massive dump on their absolute nonsense and their fallacious reasoning. Is that you, Ronnie?
Nathan.
Yes.
I don't think these people are idiots. I don't think they're retards. I think that they have an agenda.
No. Up until now, Tim genuinely
No,
thought that antipodal star rotation proved a sphere Earth. And it's only in recent days that I've really painstakingly pointed out to him where his reasoning is definitely not sound logic. It's actually fallacious logic. And I've even spelled it out to him what fallacy it is. He just doesn't want it to be that way. He wants to come on and go, begging the question, and say it in a Mongol voice when it's actually our point. So saying it in a retarded voice. Who's talking?
He just wants to be a jackass. And Nathan, why didn't you show the video where you've got the cell phone on the floor? You can only see so far. You lift the cell phone up, you can see further on the floor. That completely debunks his observations. I don't know why nobody brought that up.
We do. It's the angular limitation. That's what they removed by putting it inside elevation. So his point is this shows the geometry. That's where the trick lies, and that's what I wanted him to concede. He's saying this shows the geometry of the Earth with a photograph on screen. No. What they do in the geometry is once removed from the actual photograph to remove perspective. It's a non-perspective inclusive view, and that's what he's done.
I've done the same observations as myself. The further away from the CN Tower that I was, the less I could see of it. And I then replicated the experiment in a big, large warehouse where I had my Ball Earth friend put his cell phone camera on the floor, and I simply just walked to the other end of the flat building, and half of my legs were then obstructed because the camera only had so far of a field of view. It had nothing to do with geometry or perspective. It had to do with the distance that my eyes are meeting the floor is meeting the ceiling of the building. The two converge in the center of my vision. It's completely explainable on a flat plane. Tim is just a jester. He's just a joker and a troll. And his observations actually do prove my theory that we live on a flat Earth and we have a fixed field of view. It has nothing to do with refraction. Has like a 2 degree in the sky. Like, you could measure, 10 feet out of 100 of your view? It has such a small amount.
My question is, why do we engage with these people like this?
Because this is a debate. All are welcome.
Oh, okay. That's what it is.
Yeah, well,
I'm on the wrong show. I want to find a philosophical...
well, let me address that. I heard Ranty with the only imaginary curve the other night, and what's his name?
Background noise.
Someone needs to mute, guys.
Scott, you got noise.
Oh, sorry.
So Gav basically came onto the camera or came onto mic and basically started saying he doesn't like the fact that there's this flat Earth debate because there is no debate, and I completely agree. There is no debate. The reason for the debate show, in my opinion, and this is the reason why I use it, is to provide a platform for people that are new to the argument that don't realize that there is no debate, because there is no debate.
There is no debate. Sure. Don't kick me out. I don't kick you guys in this channel.
Well, I didn't kick you. But anyway, the point
I
is,
don't kick you
there is
guys.
no debate. You guys
Hold
tell
on.
people we live on a
Hold on,
sphere,
Anthony.
and we tell people that you guys can't prove it. Show
And there's a
why.
ton of evidence for that, but there's no evidence for a flat Earth,
I
right?
kicked
So
you.
you're
Hold on,
joking
Anthony.
around.
Anthony, hold on just one
Tim, have you
second. Tim, I kicked you because you failed to concede after 6 times.
Oh, then
of
I'll
that-
leave if you want me to.
It's not that I want you to
I
leave.
thought one of your
That's
panel
not what I'm
members
asking
did.
for. I'm asking you for a concession that when you state that what you see on screen with a photograph on screen is the geometry. That's incorrect.
Okay, so you went into this whole thing about how there's a side elevation and perspectives not taken into account, but also I remember you always saying that every single picture we ever take takes perspective into account. So those are just pictures that I'm showing you at different heights over the Great Salt Lake.
That's
so
lovely.
it is showing geometry as in I'm getting higher and I see more from afar. So it is showing you geometry of the
that's
Earth.
where you're wrong. So the geometry
Okay.
is represented. This is the 7th. I told you, whoever disagreed on the panel, he's just dumb. It's just thick. It's not sinking in. No, Tim. The representation of the geometry of your sphere world does not include perspective. Simple.
But I didn't bring that up. Why are you strawmanning me, man?
Because you're
I just
saying
brought up
the
the picture of the freaking
geometry.
Earth.
Do you not understand what geometry means?
I actually do. I don't think you do.
Right.
With the angular
Well, the
size of the sun
geometry
not
used.
changing throughout the day.
Okay, Tim. Well, let
Yeah.
me explain. The
It actually
geometry
does,
used.
Tim.
The geometry used.
No, it
to
actually
assert-
doesn't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
My
it
bad. You
definitely
don't
does.
want to
Can
be
you
educated,
please
Tim.
keep your yap shut for a
Yeah,
second?
yeah, he's dumb. He doesn't know when he needs to shut up and listen.
I'm listening.
Right. The geometry that you will use to assert that it's Earth curve, not curving, curve.
So you are
blockage.
strawmanning.
Oh, I hadn't
You are.
finished.
You say you're going to
I
use
hadn't
this argument
finished.
before I
This
even
is
use
another
it.
thick example of a retard who can't shut his pie hole.
Yeah, you're strawmanning me. You're
I hadn't
strawmanning.
finished.
Go
So,
ahead. Continue your strawman, please.
you
I know where
asserted
it's going.
that the obstruction was curvature. That extrapolation comes from a begging the question, proof of nothing, perspective hijacking curve calculator.
No, it
that
doesn't.
says
No, it doesn't.
That says the geometry is actually Earth curve obscuring the bottom of the building. That's where you get that abstraction from. If you're saying no, it doesn't, you're wrong again, Tim. I can take you through that
No,
7
you can't tell me
times
where
too.
I get it. You can't
if
tell
you
me where I
don't
get
think
my-
your assertion comes from the calculator, Tim, I can take you through that little logic, that little lapse in logic.
Nice
too.
strawman. Move on.
Not a straw man.
Ridiculous.
Not a straw man. This is Timmy's lapse in logic, and it's me handing you your own ass in regards to your misconceptions about geometry. So, Tim, when you assert that something's being obscured by Earth curve, that's an extrapolation from the curve calculator. Okay, buddy?
No, it's not.
Okay.
No,
Do you want me to take you through that then?
Deductions, such
No
as,
worries,
stars
Tim.
and
No
the
worries.
sun, the moon, all that
no
kind of
worries,
stuff?
Tim. Take me through how you come to the conclusion that not seeing the bottom of a building in the distance is because Earth curves in the way. You tell me the logical steps that got you to that conclusion, my friend.
Okay, I'm looking over very calm level water and I can't see the other side. I can't see half that building. So what am I supposed to think? Aries diffraction, perspective, the Earth is flat? Nay, I do not think that. I see the sunrise, I see the sunset, I say the sun does not change in angular size. I see that there's two celestial planets.
Don't interrupt him,
I have
Owen.
seen those
Hold
personally
on.
myself.
Don't interrupt
I've
him.
seen solar eclipses, I've seen lunar eclipses. So all of this, if you actually take it into a logical deduction standpoint, will actually make you think that the Earth is indeed spherical and not flat. Now, when you guys can actually model even close to what the spherical model does, as far as the empirical observations that we all go and test, then I'll take you guys a little bit more seriously. But if you want to take and cherry pick your whatever science you want and deny other science, then all you are is just clowns.
That was a lovely bit of word salad. So where do we get the connection between what we see at the bottom of the building being obscured and Earth curve obscuring it? You're saying sunsets prove that?
I'm actually saying that the water is very level and calm. So when you say water is flat and water is level and all this stuff, I'm just looking over water and doing a simple observation. I don't take the curve calculator into effect. And in fact, the only reason I did ever was because Ranty was so adamant about the curve calculator from McWest, right?
Okay.
So now we actually have better Earth curve calculators from Walter Bisland's form. I would go check that out. He also explains refraction. He explains all of this stuff that you guys misappropriate
Sorry, this
here.
sounds like you are using the calculator then, as I've
Timmy,
asserted.
on fire!
Sorry, it sounds like you are using the calculator then. So when I say your assertion that Earth's curve is blocking the way, it's because the Walter Bisling calculator told you so. So I'm correct then.
Nope.
So it's nothing to do with the Earth curve calculator. I'm still in the dark then, Tim. So do you want to take me through it maybe for a third time where you get from the connection of something being obscured at the bottom and Earth curve obscuring it? Because so far I've had sunsets and Walter Bisling's calculator. One makes no sense, doesn't link it to Earth curve. The other is my assertion that you need the calculator to make this assertion. So do you want to tell me again how the calculator doesn't lead you to that conclusion?
Yeah. So in life, we presuppose things. We beg the question.
No, we fucking don't, you stupid moron. That's what you globehead retards with the religious belief do.
Method
Excuse
does.
me. No, let's not say we do that. That's
Just
what
as
you
the
do,
scientific
you
method
stupid
does.
moron. That's what you do. You assume the Earth's a sphere because you're a moron.
You assume the Earth is flat.
No, we start with the exact same mathematics. You insert R. If you remove the presupposition of R, we have the exact same
stop
mathematics.
jacking
you
off to
retard. So no, I don't
causing this
presuppose
obstruction,
anything
Timmy?
when I measure a distance. You insert a presupposition of an R value. Other than the R value that you presuppose,
never did that.
our measurements are the same.
Why does he strawman everybody?
Oh, right. So now it's down to Tim not acknowledging that he's wrong about the geometry he asserted that is the Earth curve that he needs the R value for. He's not going to concede that, even though I've told him 8 times.
No, it's just an observation.
You
It's
do need the calculator and the begging the question proof of nothing perspective hijacking formula it uses with an R value to assert that that blockage is Earth curve, Tim. That's yet another logical fallacy that you will never concede.
There's
Good logic,
so much
Tim.
straw in here.
Very
It should
sound
be
logic, Tim.
It's amazing, Alan. He usually doesn't do this.
Sorry, my name's Nathan, and I've just pointed out to the audience and to Tim, who's now talking to Alan, that his logic is definitely not sound. In fact, it is riddled with fallacy. Riddled.
I'm not gonna be. He can come onto my channel anytime. Anybody can come onto my channel anytime. I'm not gonna mute them. I'm not a fucking coward. Peace.
Excuse me. I'll shut you up when you continually ignore for the 8th and 9th and 10th time that when you assert that a picture is geometry, it isn't. And I can debunk that over and over and over and over again.
You know,
while you strawman me about the mute button. While you're actually projecting that strawman onto me.
Phone on a flat floor and walk away from the camera and my feet will disappear.
Yeah, we heard you the first
How
time.
come nobody's
Ronnie.
bringing this up?
Ronnie, thank you. We heard you the first time.
Yeah, but you're not arguing it. You're arguing stupid hijacking hyena perspectives dumbness.
But that's
I
the
have a flat
actual,
floor and I
that's
put my
the
camera.
actual effect.
And if I put my camera on the floor and I walk away on the flat floor of the building, my feet will disappear. If I then lift the camera up in the air like Tib is doing, I will then see my feet again. It is the most simplest argument to defeat, and not one of you on the panel is. It's so simple.
Exactly that and describing it.
To cause trouble.
It's gone.
I don't know what's going on with Ronnie. Yes, we heard you the first and second time. We agreed with you, and our point is the same. Just slightly more complex than just using your feet in a camera like I've done, and many people who've got their exact example on my channel under the Angle of Attack playlist. So yes, we understand, Ronnie. But we're explaining how the magic trick works with the calculator and how they do that, how they remove perspective. Hi, P.
Hi. Hi, P. Mars.
Hello.
Good to see you on the flight, the fat Earth. What a show that, wasn't it?
That guy was a jerk, man. What the hell was that?
He's like, he's the globe version of Nathan.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. We don't need
There's
that.
no globe version of Nathan.
We don't need more Nathan Oakleys. What the hell?
Oh, thanks, P. P, thanks. I love you too.
One's enough.
We need people to have respect for other people and be nice. Not the opposite of Nathan, you know?
I'm sorry, was it unfair to explain something 8 times, not get a concession, then told that I'm strawmanning somebody? That's me being unreasonable, is it?
Fuckwit says what?
Yeah, exactly. So, Tim Osman, after 7 times of explaining the same thing to him, then changed his question to how does this work on a flat earth, typical baller tactic, yeah? Then accused me of strawmanning him.
Yeah, you constantly strawman people. All your arguments are, you know, what, rhetoric, logical fallacies. You don't have...
No, that's wrong. I'm just not going to let you do this to me, P. I'm sorry. They do remove
That's
perspective
exactly
from the
what
calculator,
P.
P. There's no perspective in the curve calculator.
That was
That's
exactly
what they call curve.
Fucking... Stuff you guys talk to each other, like plan your attack on the show or something.
Yeah,
Again,
perspective isn't an argument, Nathan. This is nonsense.
It is, because you don't include it in your calculator, P, for the globe.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, right. Okay, well, go in peace in Are You Trust, if it doesn't matter. No problem. Just give a hand wave dismissal and carry on believing you live on a globe and that perspective isn't real. No worries. Off you go. Happy days. Good for you.
The shape of the earth has nothing to do with perspective, Nathan.
Okie dokie.
I don't know
you can carry on believing
where
that.
you get that.
Yeah, you keep telling us that while you analyse photographs that include perspective. Good for you, P. Off you go in Are You Trust.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, we have perspective. It is real. It's in every photograph ever. Things do get smaller into the distance. That's ignored in your calculations for a globe and then replaced with what you call curve.
No.
Hand wave dismissal. Okay. Bye-bye, P. In Are You Trust? Radius Dominus Gravitas Spiritus Sanctus.
Nigger.
Go in peace, P.
Nigger.
Yeah, this is what it descends to when you get your ass handed to you, like Tim Osman, Rumpus the Hangout, say I'm strawmanning you.
Well, it was all going so well, Nathan.
Yeah.
Hey, Travis.
Hey. I mean, hello. What?
What up, Trav?
Yeah, thanks to Wiggles and Rumpus and various other people, there is no denying whatsoever that the perspective omitting proof of nothing begging the question calculator used to prove a globe not only begs the question and assumes it's a globe to begin with, but ignores perspective. This is admitted and has been admitted for quite some time now. So for all you who say it doesn't matter, okie dokie, no worries. Just go away and believe that it doesn't matter. Believe this picture doesn't include perspective. Believe that what the calculator tells you, this ship is the same size as if it was here. Massive. Right? No, it isn't. It's tiny because it's in the distance. That's an angular size reduction at distance, otherwise known as perspective, that is ignored in your calculator, as admitted by all of you globe heads who have a brain.
Apparently, Globers think perspective is just something that happens in art class. It's not reality. I don't understand that.
It's because that's what they're told by their begging the question proof of nothing perspective hijacking curve calculator. People like, literally, P. Mars will say, perspective doesn't matter. Wiggles will say, we don't need perspective. Rumpus will say, it doesn't need to include perspective. We're looking at it side on. When we're not. We're not looking at it side on at all. We do have a perspective view. Perspective is in the picture. It absolutely makes things in the distance smaller than things in the near foreground. That's just a fact of life. Ignored completely and called curvature by globeheads who have been deluded. Funny.
Their idol is the curve calculator, Nathan.
Say again.
Their idol is the curve calculator. Whenever anything looks flat, they always just go back to the curve calculator and reassure themselves by pushing a few buttons that the Earth is round.
Yeah,
that's why they started with this Walter Bislin nonsense, because you can do it on a slider, and you can actually see the flat Earth turning into a ball, so you can reassure yourself that you do live on a ball still.
Yeah, that's where we started with Tim Osman. A reification fallacy. To assert that the model is reality.
No, we don't admit that Bisling's works. We admit that it just turns a straight object into a round object. It could probably change a triangle into a round object. You just slide the slider, and it gives you back your ball, Lowry.
Have you seen the one with the really extended slider?
No.
Oh, I can't remember where I found it. There's basically someone's taken his calculator and taken that refraction slider and just made it like much, much longer. And what you do is you slide it and slide it and slide it, and eventually your own arse comes into view.
Oh yeah, we're still waiting for that, Rumpus. We want to see that kind of proof. We want to see your own. Well, we don't actually know.
I was able to see my own ass in the telescope, Ranty.
Yeah, you were. Did you not do a video about it?
Yeah, I mean, you did one, didn't we? We managed to look all the way around the shape of the Earth, and I could see my own ass in my own. Have you still got that video?
I think it's on your channel, isn't it?
I don't know. I think so.
Yeah, it must be.
Shout out to Conspiracy Cats getting debunked.
Thanks, Ed. More footage, Ranty. Let me have a look. See what I've got in my drawer.
About 5 minutes, so if you can dig it out, get it in before the end of the show.
Oh,
this show became very interesting when Stanley was called out, and with all this perspective, omitting bullshit that was going on, Conspiracy Cats being called out, and Timmy came. I don't know. Very interesting show. Thank you, Nathan.
Anytime. It's half of the course as far as I'm concerned, Jose. It's just like every other day.
Flip flop.
Flip flop. Wait, what are you whispering flip flop for, Alan?
I'm not.
We all heard you.
It's all right. I ignore that. I mean, if being flip flop equals being respectful and polite, I'll take it any day. I'm a flip flop any day. I will be respectful and polite anywhere I stand. So there you go.
Hey, Alan, have you seen my response to Conspiracy Cats?
No, I've just been talking to Conspiracy Cats, actually.
Oh, right. Has he seen it yet?
Hang on, I'll read his message. I've got a direct line into the Conspiracy Cats.
You're on the back phone.
He's not collected his wages yet.
Wouldn't be the back phone, would it?
I'll watch that later. I'm teaching some kids.
I hope he's not teaching them about the shape of the Earth. He's got that one wrong.
Well, you'll have given him material for Tuesday's show, I expect.
Well, so you haven't answered my question. What did you think about it?
I've not watched it.
Oh.
Sorry.
He's a physics teacher, right?
He is, yes.
Can't physics.
You reckon?
Definitely. He's got his sums wrong.
We'll see.
I think Riley created Conspiracy Cats, but he took advice on Simon Dan for subs.
Yeah, Simon Dan can't science either. He can't science or physics.
Hey, Tony, what about your big announcement? When's that coming?
I'm waiting for a phone call. Literally now. It's due in the next 10 minutes. I should be appointing solicitors this afternoon, so it'll
solicitors?
Yeah.
What kind of news is this?
Well, it's going to involve a press release, hopefully.
Have you sorted Brexit or something?
She's knackered. She's getting sacked. Sacked in the morning for Theresa May.
Hope so. Hope so.
She's got to be the worst prime minister we've ever had. She's a shambles.
Well, at least she didn't steal our milk.
Oh, I don't know. She's not far off it. For those of you that don't understand that comment, that's referring to Maggie Thatcher in the 80s when she stopped milking schools. Bitch. I suffered because of that.
So did Martin Luther King.
She needed it for the Mr. Whippies, didn't she?
Yeah.
Maybe she helped y'all. Milk is horrible stuff. Nobody should drink milk.
Pasteurized milk. Pasteurized milk is bad. Raw milk is good. But yeah, you don't get
you're
that
on.
in packets in school.
But 99% of what people drink is not not raw milk.
Well, semi-skim does everyone good. Do you drink semi-skimmed, Al?
I drink the blue one. What's that?
Skimmed.
No, the blue one isn't the blue one. You got red top, which is
Anyway,
semi-skim.
look,
Blue
this
one
is fascinating. Truly fascinating. Ranty, you're up.
Okay. So again, 21.55 miles. This is down off the beach, elevation approximately 5 foot above sea level.
I'm offended.
A very compressed view of Barrow Furnace, the buildings of Barrow Furnace.
Shouldn't be seen on a ball, boys and girls.
Should not be seen on a ball.
I wish you could. It almost makes me seasick.
Does it? For
Shout
you.
out Focus Lock.
This is old stuff, guys. This is old stuff. Old but very important stuff, bearing in mind.
It's like 3D. It adds realism to the visuals, you know.
This is probably after I'd broken the tripod, my fourth tripod.
Were you drunk here, Ranty?
No, unfortunately.
Hey, you were drunk Saturday though, weren't you?
I certainly was.
You had a really good go at Dell. He wasn't
right.
having it. He wasn't having it though, was he?
I had a right hangover.
Did you?
I don't even recall going on the show, to be honest.
He sounded like an old hippie. We should all get together and be a good community. That's what I'm saying.
Start telling him he loves him at some point.
Simon, Dan, and all them are organised, and we're not. We need to get together.
Well, that's fast. If I was saying all that, then it's absolutely spot on.
And he were going, get to fuck.
That's fine. If he wants to be a rebel on his own, he can be a rebel on his own. I'm not going to force him to.
He's not a rebel on his own. He sucks. Come on.
I said it seems player we're not going to get to Ranty's footage. We're just going to have a load of gossip about Dal. Good for them. You'll hear it on the after show at 11 a.m. tomorrow GMT. So yeah, if you want to tune into the after show, be sure to subscribe to my second channel, Nathan Oakley. I've put a link out also in the chat box of everybody who's watching this live show, so you can go to the pre-show, which runs prior to this one, which is a little bit confusing, but if you missed the last show, you can see it rerun together with the pre-show over on Nathan Oakley channel at 3 p.m. today. So yes, check that out on Nathan Oakley channel. And with that, I'll say first and foremost a huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of the debating panel for making this debate possible. And of course, a massive thank you to all of you, the live audience, for tuning in and hopefully sharing this debate. If you hated the show, then smash the dislike button. But if you liked it, maybe consider sharing it with a friend or subscribing if you have not done so already. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!